Good morning, children. Today we are going to see first lesson, sources of medieval India. That is, learning objective is to know the source of the study of medieval India, temple, mosque. What are the sources? Temple, mosque, tombs, palaces, and forts as important sources. Literary and inscriptural texts, that is, books what they have written during that time. Account of Arabs and Turkish travelers who came to India, what are all the information given by them. All these um, gives us information about this medieval India. Introduction. The period from 700 to 1200 classified as early medieval and later medieval in Indian history. Various sources are available to know this. What are they? Added to the information that can be gleaned from inscription, monuments, coins, and the account left by Arab, Persian, and Turkish chroniclers. Chroniclers means that is events in the following dates. These are rich and detailed and have given first-hand information on the life of kings. They provide very little information on the life of the common people. Okay, sources is of two. It is divided, classified into what are they? Primary sources and secondary sources. Primary sources includes Primary sources includes inscription, monuments, and coins, and the information available in them. That means my inscription means it is written on the walls of the temple, rocks, and pillars in Sarnath pillar, Sanchi Stupa, like that. Monuments means buildings, forts, palaces, like that. Then coins will be knowing. This give information about the king and their administration during that time. Secondary sources: literary works, chronicles, travelogues, biographies, and autobiographies. Chronicle means event and date, in which year and its events, what it happens. We'll be coming to know about that. Literary works, books written during that period. Then travelogues, people who travel to other places and they will give information about that. Then biographies, they will write about that king, like that. That is called as biography. Autobiography means they themselves will write. That is called as autobiography. Next, inscription. Here you can see the picture there, rock inscription. Inscriptions are writing engraved on solid surface such as rock, stone, temple walls, and metals. What it inscribes, it tells us about what is that? Dedication, royal decrees, dedication and donation, monuments raised in commemoration of victories in wars, those built in memory of deceased warrior, contain rich information about the concerned era. Okay, for example, they are given that various types of land gifted by the Chola and the names given to that. Then next one is copper plate grants, which were treated as legend documents in those days. And now only we are using this paper. Before that, they used to write in the copper plates. செப்பு தகடுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அந்த செப்பு தகடுல what are all the deeds done by the king, everything will be written in that. It is significant source value. The Islamic Persian practice and the relatively high cost of copper plate made palm leaf and paper cheaper alternative from 13th century onwards. After that only they started writing in palm leaves. Now they are using paper. Several copper plate grants issued during the later Chola period. Examples given there. That is, in stone inscriptions, the beneficency of a donor is recorded. Major focus is upon the giver. For example, Tiruvalangadu plates of Rajendra Chola I and the anvil plates of Sundara Chola are notable examples. Another one is Uttarameru inscription in Kanjipuram districts. Now we'll see monuments. Monuments includes temple, palaces, mosques, tombs, forts, minars, and minarets are called by the collective name monuments. The Sultan of Delhi introduced a new type of architecture. This that is number South Indian architecture is different from this Sultan of Delhi. So it will be like a lengthy, long building, mosque like that. The monuments they built had arches, domes and minarets. இப்போ முஸ்லீம் டெம்பிள்ஸ்லாம் மாஸ்க்லாம் எப்படி இருக்கும், அந்த ஆர்ச்சஸ் மாதிரி இருக்கும், அந்த டூம் மாதிரி இருக்கும். So their style of architecture is like that. The inscription in these monuments contain rich information which can be used to construct history. The medieval Khajuraho, in the monuments they have given some example. Khajuraho monuments, Madhya Pradeshla or a temple, and temples in Konark in Odisha and Dilwara, Mount Abu, Rajasthan constitute valuable sources to understand the religion-centered cultural evolution in North India. Temple in Tanjavur in South India, they are given example. Brahadishwara temple, Gangaikonda Cholapuram and Tarachuram symbolizes the magnificent stature of the later Chola built in Tamil Nadu. Vittala and Virupaksha temple at Hampi similarly speaks of the contribution of Vijayanagar ruler. Then Quat ul Islam Masjid. These are all the monuments, temples we have seen. Here they are given about Masjid, Mosque. Quad ul Islam Masjid, Modi Ki Masjid, Jamma Masjid, Fatehpur Sikri Dargah, Charminar are the important mosques belonging to the medieval times. The fort of historian importance are Agra forts. Forts means what? Kotegal and the king order palaces. Chittur Court, Gwalior Port and Delhi Red Fort, as well as the port of Dowladabad and Feroz Shah Kota. Palaces in Jaipur, Jaisalmer and Jodhpur signify the greatness of the Rajput dynasty that wielded enormous power from these places. Qutub Minar, the tombs of Iltutmish, Balban and all the Mughal rulers or the other prominent structures, a valuable source of information. In the temples, palaces, what lifestyle they have done, இப்போ லைட்டிங்லாம் எப்படி இருந்துச்சு, how it was built, having arches like that, it gives information about that period. Cities in ruins such as Firuzabad and Dukladabad in North India and Hampi in South India remain rich repositories of the history of medieval India. Okay children, so far we have learned about the sources, primary and secondary sources. Primary we have seen that inscription, monuments, mosques, forts, up to that. Tomorrow we will continue from coins. Thank you children.